Alright, look, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some very serious shit. And just listen. Alright? In that movie called AI Rising, the individual in the beginning of the movie, the individual is talking to a guy fixing to go on a 5-year journey or something. They're going to put a AI female in there to create a relationship so he doesn't lose his mind or blah, 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 blah. But the individual, the character, represents a woman, and the woman's telling the individual that's going to be flying that she is a social engineer. So, and then if we tie in certain presidents that have said there's nothing hidden in this world. There's nothing hidden in this world. So then when you tie in magic, especially black magic and gray magic, the only way it works on the individual, you control the nervous system. So when you control the nervous system from day one, which is sending signals to the brain, okay, that are going to be programmed. So this child, as it grows, the impulses from these and everything is going to program responses based off what they watch and what they see as a child is going to program them, especially if it's 10,000 hours of Disney by the age of 10. Now we've got a little emotional dummy. Okay? And that's what's going to happen. So what's going to happen is this, is that child grows older. So the reason that there's so much conflict with individuals right now, it's because anything spoken to an individual, okay, hypothetically this is me. This is a group of individuals. I say something, they don't respond. They think they're responding by their own actions and their own thinking, but they're only producing a reflex and a reaction from their whole life that they have absorbed through billboards, pictures, images, and everything. They respond through a reflex, through emotions driven into them through black magic scripts as cartoons and all kinds of bullshit. So when you talk, that's what I'm saying. Each individual is reacting to what they're programmed with. So, and I think, let me see right quick. The never-ending story. Is that it? That is it, isn't it? Hang on. I don't think it's this one. What movie is it? It might be. Let's see. Let me just say. No. It's the movie. It might be. The woman goes in, the young lady goes into her room. She's in a trance. She's on the other side, so to speak, or whatever. Wait, the name of the movie might come to me. But she goes, and it's her room as a child. And everything's in there, even her doll and the mirror that, they had. So she was going back to her childish nature, like her emotions. Well, then these old women come in that literally have all this junk all over them. And that represents worldly possessions. And they come in there and they're going, oh, look at you, And they're trying to trap her. And they're saying, look, you remember this? Oh, yeah. And she keeps going, yeah, I remember this. And she feels it. She's being overwhelmed. And then she gets up, and they're trying to trap her there through possessions. So they tell us in a child's black magic movie about what's going on in a sense. So what I'm going to do is, since there's nothing hidden in this world, and they talk of social engineering, and we know of mind control, and we know about how certain brotherhood has kept certain knowledge from masses, and they know how to control masses, and they know how to guide them and do whatever they want to with them and have for a very long time. So what we're going to do is, see, the average individual's brain, it's a computer and it's a motor. So what we don't know is this, okay? There's spirit in all plant. Anything that has life has spirit in it, okay? Any invention, most inventions now come from the human anatomy, but ideals come from not us. They're invoked and they are evoked through black magic that gives us, that we think that's our own concept, when it's not. It's an impulse driven into a child over and over and over. And in black magic, you control the nervous system, which controls the brain and the thinking and the thoughts and all that. And we're into this thing called Ahriman. All right. So we're social engineers. So what do we do? What is our job? Our job is to get to this right here as soon as possible. We got to get to this in the child as soon as possible, and to the occipital lobe, which is the imagination. So when we see, you see this up here, little toy trucks, they get you ready. It's, that's reality, even though it's not. Cars. It's not this. Flowers. It's not the smell of the flowers and all that, and the bloom and all that, and seeing the sunrise and sunset and igniting all these fluids in the brain. These fluids are developed around these impulses, which would be materialism, possessions, which is Ahrimanic. So what that means is this engineer means what spirit would that be? It's a worldly spirit. All right. Does that make sense? These, see, it just depends on what time, in time of history and what they're creating. If they're going to create a bunch of wars and shit, then they're going to have soldiers in all the lands as toys, children. And that spirit grows into that, and then there's going to be images everywhere. You're not going to see them now. They don't have all this. They got rid of all of it. That's all they do. They just set up and put images everywhere. Slogan, teach you read enough to do this and this until it's time to start what we're in now. But do you see how the connection, and I'm speaking in a very hidden way, because to some of the individuals, we don't care about this if you don't get it. I'm just showing the controllers what's really going on. See, when you're going to create an individual around this, and see, this is the thing is the average individual is this Ahrimanic. It's a deity, and it is. So all these worldly emotions have been ingrained in there. So they're not going to be able to see that for what it truly is. It's these impulses that this This has outweighed any impulse from any of that. This is nature. This is culture. And these people create cultures. You know, the child, you know, these are the worst at destroying the ether body. And nobody knows about that. If it wasn't for the air, it wouldn't do this, the texture, none of that. And then you're going to see geometrical designs in all of it. Well, there is in this. So when you don't know the designs of the creator, then the anti-creator is going to give you the same ones, only inverted. Put them on all their structures. See, one of the things about truth seekers, they don't, few of them talk about the unseen, but being neutral, there's a bigger thing going on behind the scenes. You know, and it has to do with our soul and our spirit. But when you, like certain soda companies, the color red, like we should see from a rose or from Mars, looking at it. You understand? Instead, we have images of that color. So it's not real. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're the furthest away from this. The furthest away. And in the blood now, it's generationally this. Fast foods, chemicals, and everything. Nothing of that. So this is a spirit and this is a spirit. So we're creating a worldly spirit. I'm a social engineer. I'm going to create these schools. I'm going to put my brands in the community. And they're going to have pizza day, taco day, hot dog day, whatever. Spaghetti day, because I got all those fast foods coming. So we'll give them coupons at the end of the week. Yeah. And then as they get older, they'll have offspring, and then they grow into that, and then eventually, bam, we've got Arimon. Really, same blood, same pills, same TV in every house, same sodas, same. Nothing fucking natural. The connection is inside to the technology, to this. The reflex. Go inside. Oh, it's bad out there. Listen, this is the biggest trick they've ever done. You know, all this, and truthfully, listen, this AI is the weakest shit ever on this side of this physical plane. It's the weakest technology ever. You want to get into technology, get into what they did, literally burning everything down. Doing this. Yeah, turning structure into putty. Big structure. Absolutely everywhere too. So, you know, and truthfully, the fryers, the burners and French fryers, you know, that's just a copy of the air. And see, the microwave, when you turn it on, it penetrates the water molecules in the meat. So all they did was turn the air on, the burners in the air with whatever technology, and then it penetrated into the middle of all the structure and cooked out whatever from the inside out. Same way with the microwave. It's a microwave, what they have. Melt it and then fucking get it so hot that they liquefy the dirt and then move it just like you'd grade a fucking neighborhood. Get it ready. I mean, I just built 700 units. They just fucking graded a continent. And then just ushered in a bunch of fucking dumb human goy And then just threw images around and said, oh, look, this is the best ever in humanity. Oh, my great-granddaddy did all that. I know it. Like I said, this is this little demon. And it can't get out of the routine that it's always ever known. But if you can see this, because remember, I'm speaking in sort of a neutral kind of tone. Hang on, I gotta get something to eat. I ate a little shit cheese pizza. A big shit. Something I can get in there quick. But I mean, when you develop a mind, it all has to do with the brain. Y'all know that. Everything does. Everything does. And the people can't see that. You starting to understand the impulse thing? I mean, look, do you want me to get real crazy far with you? You know, when these brands first started, it was all puzzles and shirts. See, we don't understand. We wear it. You know, but look, let me... I don't want to go too far into that because, I mean, you don't understand. Each Basil is Mars and male. So, and it's a fire sign. Elements, all that. We don't know that. And this individual will go, that's satanic. But if we're into, let's not be neutral for a minute, if we're into religion, if we're going to be with Jesus, if that's our thing, which side would he be on? And see, the average religious person, they'll still say this, no, that's it right there. That's a demon. With the impulse only to that shit. That's it. That's it. And see, whatever they introduce into their little, this shit is what the massive, it's my whole point. This is all an invention of us. This comes from that up there in the magnetic field and all that. Old cathedrals. All right. You see this thing right here? That's a substation. That's the ether. So the air's going to go into there, and then it would charge whatever. But that's what we see with us. But see, if that's going to go into there, see that what we did is we just copied nature. See, the flowers and all that have air, ether coming in. And then it produces that life, bloom, blossom, smell, and all that. Well, if you harness that, then you can charge. So when you create this Goy and put rubber on them, give them chemicals and all that, then the forces stay in them of the toxinous substances. But the images can't tell them that because it's got people going, look, it's good. And they've seen it. So their reaction or reflex is going to keep just to do what they've already seen. That's a response, even though they tell you, no, I fucking thought of that. No, you didn't. But see, I want you to look at some of you see this pattern right here? You see this? And see, it's right here. You'll see it on all structures. It's a sun symbol. It's a zodiacal symbol. Most churches faced east. The choir even too, because the sound is going to be different facing east as opposed to northeast, west, and south. But you got to understand, this is pulling power in, but this symbol has to do with the other side. Why would you not tell people about that? They've walked into that mother over and over and over, and they've never even asked what the fuck all that is. That's them. They never. So when you don't have a clue of who the fuck you are, you're given heaven and hell, you're just going to go live in heaven. How? Based on what? The way, because I can tell you this, nobody even takes heed to anything other than themselves. But this is something that, if you're watching this, you're going to see these symbols on the other side. You're going to see these. And then it has to get it, Coca-Cola, China. Now look, there's not a warning label on those. Why is that? You do know what it does. Okay, see, your reflex or your reaction is going to be, he's crazy. Do they cause diseases? Yes. They'll kill all this. So you're going to tell me that leaders of countries are going to allow something in there that's going to hurt the citizens? It's going to poison them, give them diabetes, and create hospitals? That's Ahriman. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This red right here represents war, anger. I mean, you grow up with that. Look, that's not real. Kids don't have one, they'll destroy everything. That's a reaction and a reflex because the brain doesn't have the substance there to satisfy. All these little plants, on the surface, what we see is not what we think it is. It has to do with the other side too. So now, what they've done in a short way is they've created these Goy. I know why, but I can't. It's hard to explain it to you because you can't explain it. These forces that we do not use, we see. So when you create billions of dummies and they go over with all these forces that they've never used, and they've used those forces to shit that they made. You understand what I'm saying? So all these emotions they've harnessed. They created however it is you feel. Everything, the way you think and everything comes from them, not you. You're the product of this. You are. I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. It's right there in their hand, and they cannot see it. So, what spirit would that be? The world. And last time I checked, the Bible says you can't serve two masters. And in Black's Law Dictionary, the surname is the last name. It's above and beyond the Christian name. So your first name is the Christian name. And then the last name is above and beyond, so that means your first name don't mean shit. That's what that means. So you've got spirit in your first name and spirit in your last name. One is your Christian name and one is your government name. You can't serve two masters, even though nobody knows the laws. They don't teach them to you. So you grow up, we don't question authority. You go to the structures, we don't question God. This structured program mind is very obedient. They'll tell you, I've always done what I've been told. No shit. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you because this is real. I mean, you have no idea. This is. You don't have a clue what you're missing when it comes to nature. And some of y'all do. You do. I'm not saying all of you. Love you, because I'm about to starve.